Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on today? I am super duper excited because today, guys, not only are we going to share a good book, but it is release day. Y'all know here at the cafe, we love celebrating a release day. And we are here with USA Today bestselling author Kathleen Fuller. And guys, let me tell you, her new one is hot off the press, So Into You. It is available on today. But before we get into it and talk about all things So Into You, I'm going to allow Kathleen Fuller to introduce herself to you guys on today.
Okay, thanks, Angela, for having me on the show. Still trying to get used to where to look on the computer here. I really appreciate it, and hello to everybody that's watching this. My name's Kathleen Fuller. Like Angela said, I'm a USA Today bestselling author of Amish fiction and also contemporary romance. And I live with my husband and my youngest daughter in Cabot, Arkansas. And I love writing. I love crochet. You might see like some crochet back there. I've got some with me here. I love to travel and, of course, read and write. And it's football season, so this makes me happy as well. So I love NFL, I love college, I love any kind of football.
I love that. I love that. Look, and Kathleen, of course, you love football. Shout out your team. What's the team that you guys are rooting for in the Fuller household?
Well, so I'm a Browns fan, but Baker Mayfield has my heart. So
Okay.
Baker, you're watching. Hello. But yeah, so Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay.
I love it. I love it. Well, guys, let me just tell you, you already know what to do. Like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend if you have not done so already to come on down to the cafe because we're hanging out with author Kathleen Fuller and we're going to be celebrating with her. So Into You. Okay, now, Kathleen, as we get started, if you don't know anything about me, I love a cover. I love a good cover. And can you share with us what was it like for you when you first saw the final cover for So Into You? What was that like for you?
Well, it was pretty exciting. This is my first cartoon, is what I call them.
Okay.
I guess it's called illustrated. I'm not sure cover, but I actually requested that. I do get a little bit of input in my covers in that my publisher will ask me, like about the hero and the heroine and what I envision. And, if they can do it, that's fine. Or if they want to go in a different direction because they know best.
Uh-huh.
But the favorite thing about this cover, which I actually have this book here, is I think Britt is so cute. I think
I know, right?
nailed her. They nailed her.
They did.
And since the book is about an artist, I love that it was showing them, at their art lesson.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then the yellow color, I will admit yellow is not, I tend to go to more cooler colors. So it's not quite a fave, but I like this yellow because it just jumps off the bookshelf. So yeah, I think they did an excellent job with this cover.
I love that. And one of the things I want you to know, Kathleen, that was one of the things that attracted me to it as soon as I saw the cover. And then, of course, when you get more details about the book, I was like, oh, count me in. I'm so here for it. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, too. Some of the things that I was like, okay, yes, these are some of the tropes. These are some of the things it's dealing with. I definitely want to hear about that. But the other thing that I want to ask you, and if you can spill a little tea for us, the title, So Into You, was this your original working title or this title came a little bit later? Spill some tea.
I love the question. Okay, because it's a really good one because there is actually a little tea here.
Look, Kathleen, I feel like I need to sit up for this. Okay.
That's not that exciting, but understanding that most of my titles are hi Letitia. I'm gonna have to get used to the pop-ups too here. Most of my titles I don't come up with. I'm not a title person. It's not my wheelhouse. But when I envisioned this story, it was always with Britt being a fan of yacht rock and being a 70s vibing girl. So I had wanted it to be ABBA's song "Take a Chance on Me." That was the original one.
Okay.
But there are like no less at the time. I think it was 20 books that had that same title.
Oh.
So we couldn't do that because you can have like similar titles, but not that many. So what I did is I went through my yacht rock playlist, and I was
Huh?
looking. I made a list of yacht rock songs, and we landed on "So Into You," which was perfect. And so Into You" is by the Atlanta Rhythms. Oh my gosh, I messed that up. Atlanta Rhythm Section, I believe. And so anyway, it's a groovy blues song if you haven't heard it before. And every time I look at that book, the song plays in my head, which is great because I love it.
Yeah.
And so it just worked out. And sometimes that's what happens. You have something in mind, and then something better comes along.
Uh-huh. I love that. Thank you for sharing how you came, how you guys came to the results of the title, "So Into You." And of course, guys, once you read the book, the title will definitely make sense, as well as this gorgeous cover. If you are just joining us, guys, we are hanging out with Kathleen Fuller. And not only are we hanging out with her, guys, we're celebrating. Today is the book birthday. It's today. "So Into You" is live and in color, and it is available. And of course, guys, we will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of this book that you would definitely enjoy. And Kathleen, one of the things that stood out, because of course, we love a good opposite attract, and they are definitely opposite attract. I mean, she's like this introverted vlogger, or what have you, that you fall in love with. Okay, you just have to fall in love with her. And then, of course, he's like this reformed bad boy, or what have you. But I love also how they both kind of have like these hidden secrets, kind of that they don't, that they don't know, or that they're hiding from, or what have you. But tell us a little bit about that with exploring that those tropes or whatever, the opposite attract, all that, and them being different. And then how did you come up knowing that like she was going to be a vlogger and he was going to be, like this reformed bad boy? And that's probably like 2-3 questions in one.
No, that's great. They're all good. I'll try to hit all of that. Well, we'll start with the vlogger part. So I have a friend, and he was telling me about his wife's one of her relatives who was also a blogger, and she had been kind of discussing things on her channel about spreading her wings and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, that would be great. Because I mean, I'm a big YouTube watcher, so I was very familiar with the medium and everything, and I thought it would just be fun to explore someone who had a vibrant life on camera but struggled off camera.
Yeah.
Right. And so with her having her social anxiety and being so introverted, her counterpart really need to be somebody that you would never pair her with. And he would even think he would be paired with her. And so, and of course that had to be the gorgeous reformed bad boy, because who doesn't love a gorgeous reformed bad boy? So that was how I brought them together. But I also realized that he also had to have his own secrets and his own struggles, and the things that brought him from having the issues that he had, which I don't want to really give spoilers, to being able to open his heart to Britt and really nurture her. So that was a little bit different, I think, because you have the male nurturing the female along, and also the female giving him confidence. So that was all those were kind of entwined as the characters developed.
I love that. And I want you to know, Kathleen, you did an amazing job too, with even like with the messages, because her being a vlogger and like checking the DMs, and I fell in love with that. And I love the conversation also with him and her. That leads me to this. Kathleen, if you don't know anything about me, I'm a meet cute girly. I love a meet cute. And let me just tell you, their meet cute is a meet cute of meet cutes when they meet at the K&B store. Okay. Tell us a little bit about writing that scene. I loved it. All of it.
Well, that was super fun. This book is really rare for me because it came out pretty fully formed. It wasn't like it would just kind of told itself. So that whole meeting thing, I knew it had to have that build up and everything. But I also wanted it to be on the funny side.
Yeah.
And all the awkwardness and the strangeness that comes with that first meet. And the story itself is not inspired. The story's not inspired by a movie, but when I was writing it, I was envisioning it as kind of the 80s. I mean, I came of age in the 80s. The John, what's his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. 16 Candles, Breakfast Club. He did all those teen movies that were so fabulous. So I had some of that inspiration as I was writing it, like what would John what's his face do, and how would he have a cute me? So that's kind of how that it told itself, but there were some bits of inspiration as I was writing it.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And there are moments, like you said, if it was for you, if it was fun to write, there are some moments where you're kind of chuckling, with both of them, and then they have their moment,
Mhm.
all that good stuff. But I was so here for all of it. Thank you for sharing that. And guys, if you're just joining us, I'm super duper excited because today is a special day for Kathleen. Guys, it's today. So Into You is hot off the press. It is available. We will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of this cute story that you will definitely enjoy. It's one of those tell a friend to tell a friend, or even if you want to buddy read it with someone. Now, Kathleen, I want to ask you this, my friend. When you think about when you started writing So Into You, can you spill a little bit of tea about what came first? Was it these characters or was it the plot?
Characters, no
Ooh.
hesitation. It was the characters. It was I had to understand who they were before their story started to gel, which is
Uh-huh.
a lot of that to me, that whole brainstorming process and getting to know the characters is the most fun about writing. So, and once I understood who they were, what their issues were, what their goals were, then I was able to hang it on that frame of a vlogger and the reform, him reforming and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
then the subplot of the parents come in, and I wanted all of that to mirror each other. But it all came down to character for me in this book.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Now, speaking of the characters, we got to talk about the characters just a little bit. And
Okay.
we had someone they were helping you out in the comment section. I think they said his name is it John Hughes? Does that sound
It's
familiar?
John Hughes. Yes, yes.
Okay,
I went completely
look,
blank.
they
Thank you
got your
very
back in
much,
the
John
comment section. They
Hughes.
got your back.
Yeah, yeah. I would have
I
remembered
love
it
that.
tomorrow, but thank you.
But speaking of the characters a little bit, let's talk about them. And I will just mention a character, and you can tell us, 5 words or more, or however you want to describe some of
Okay.
the characters in this book for us. But of course, let's start with Brittany Branch. What
Mhm,
can you tell us about her character? And we know that she's a blogger, she's introverted, but what else can you
mhm.
tell us about her?
Well, Britt's 28 years old, and she's very successful. She has an artist background, but she feels very stifled. She knows that she wants to do more, but things are holding her back. And
Mhm.
so, what kind of the catalyst to get her to move forward is her best friend, and she's really introverted and has social anxiety. Let me add that. So she doesn't have a big friend group. Her mother's worried about her. Even though she lives with her mom, she has her, pays her rent, own, individual self. But her best friend gets married and is going to be moving away. And Britt
Mhm.
is thinking that she's not necessarily thinking she needs to go find a man, but she is thinking about she needs to get herself out there and live. She needs to live her life and stop living it
Yeah.
behind the camera. But she has no idea how to do that. And so her journey in this is coming to terms with being able to do that. And again, it doesn't just come from outside forces, it has to come inside too. Her learning about herself, her overcoming her fears. And then only when she was able to do that is she really fully able to embrace this new chapter in her life.
Yeah, yeah. And I love how she develops like throughout like the story, because it was almost like
Mhm,
her coming out. I love how you also showed her vulnerability on the page. And one of the things I want to ask you, as far as like her having like that social anxiety and things of that nature, did you have to do a lot of behind the scene research on that, or it was just something that you knew about, or what have you?
Well, I knew about it because I'd experienced it myself. Um, not I'm an extrovert, and so it ended up being kind of a weird thing because I had cancer, and in undergoing my treatment, I could not be extroverted. I could not get so I was, at home. I was still writing books and things like that, but one of the things about social anxiety is that if you don't make yourself go out and integrate with people, it gets worse. And so I wanted to approach it from that. She was starting to realize that too, that she, I don't want to tell too much of the story, and if I'm telling too much, you put up that stop
Oh,
sign.
you're
Yeah,
fine.
okay. But yeah, so I do have some experience with that. I've also known people in my life that struggle with anxiety. I think we all do. And I think and that to me, it seems like it's a very timely topic, because we might be super, you know, into each other on, virtually through, texting and things like this, but we're coming a little more isolated in society because we're not able, for whatever reason, to get out and be around people as much as we used to. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's basically it. So it's a little bit of what I knew, it's a little bit of who I know, and that.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And of course, we got to talk about the reform bad boy, guys, who is, let's just say he's very attractive. Okay. Hunter, what can you tell us about Hunter Pickett?
Um, well, he ended up being more complicated than I thought he would be, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, so here's where I came with him, is that there is, rightly or wrongly, sometimes an expectation that if you're really good looking, you skate through life. Everything's a
mm,
lot easier for you, and that's not really the case. Um, Granted, being good looking, there are those advantages to that, but I wanted to show a guy that seemed on the outside to have it all, and for a while he thought he did,
yeah.
but he took some wrong turns. He felt like a black sheep in his family, and so this really confident guy that, everybody and their mother and the waitress at the Waffle Hut are hitting on, has very low self-esteem.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to kind of explore that contradiction there. And I don't think that, I mean, he's a made up character, obviously, but I don't think that, that's a rare thing that happens.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And look, and we have to talk a little bit about I want you to tell us a little bit about Daniel,
Okay.
which is Britt's father. What can you tell us about his character?
Well, Daniel is also a reformed bad
Mhm.
boy, just not, I mean, he's in his 40s, and he's made a lot of mistakes. His marriage imploded because of him. He lost touch with his daughter. And so when he comes into the picture, he's trying to make that connection. He's trying to make up for the past, which is a common trope as well. But he also realizes that what he threw away, and he wants it back, even though he's not sure he could get it, but he's going to try.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, you got to tell us a little bit about Amy, which is her mom. And guys, once you read the book, guys, these characters, it'll all make sense, or what
Mhm.
have you. But what can you tell us about her mom, Amy? And I love the fact that she is a school teacher. I'm super nerdy, Kathleen, but I love the fact that she was a school teacher, as well. But what can you tell us about her mom, Amy?
Amy was probably the most difficult character to write because she's very, very wounded. I mean, Britt has her own wounds from her anxiety and growing up in a
Yeah.
broken home and having an alcoholic father, but Amy has these really deep wounds. And writing a character that is brittle and has had difficulty, and making them sympathetic and likable is a tall task. So I hope I pulled it off, but I empathize with her a lot because, she just went into that protective mode, which is what we do when we're deeply hurt. We just put a shell right around us. And sometimes it can be difficult to drop that shell. And she also had
Yeah.
turned a lot of her emotions that she probably would have put into her marriage if it had been stable, into her daughter, her only daughter. And so that
Yeah.
wasn't really healthy either. But I hope that I was glad that, she was able to notice some of that stuff herself.
Wow. Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing that. And that brings me to, like, you share with us, like which character, which, ended up being Amy, was a little more difficult for you to write. And then a little more
Mhm.
complex character, you shared with us that that was Hunter's character. But on the flip side of that, is there a character that was like exciting, borderline fun for you to write in this book with these characters? That
I think you know. I think you know what I'm going to say. That was Miss Maud.
I love it. Yes.
That's kind of a bit of a trademark in my books, though. I always have like an older male or female character that's the wise sage. If it's sage for all y'all that know how that
Yeah.
works with characters. But I always try to make them quirky, and so she's definitely quirky. And of course, she, her man was very, him being very low key, and her rock.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, she was a lot of fun. Some of the stuff that she says, she's the one that gets to say the stuff we all want to say, but we can't say because somebody look at us weird.
Right.
She's weird to begin with. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I wanted to share what Helen said. She was saying these family dynamics make a great subplot. And yes, Helen, when individuals read this story, So Into You, yes, those family dynamics, because Hunter also has some family stuff that is going on as well, guys. So let me just tell you, this book, you will definitely enjoy it. It's a page turner. It is a tell a friend. And like I said, I definitely grab a buddy, guys, and read So Into You. Book club, same thing. So Into You will be a great read, great discussion and things that you guys can talk about as well. And guess what? Yes, Kathleen, she is going to share just a short snippet. I know you guys are on the edge of your seat, but on the release day, she is going to read a short snippet. So Kathleen, I will let you kind of like set the stage and share a little bit about what you're going to share with us. And then you can start when you're ready.
Okay. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll just read a couple paragraphs of chapter 1, if that's all right.
Yes.
Okay. So chapter 1, lights, check. Sound, check. Script, check. Brittany Branch placed her hand on her fluttery stomach. 456 videos, 7 years on YouTube, almost 500,000 subscribers, comment sections filled with compliments and encouragement, and her nerves were still tap dancing in her gut. She gave up hoping she wouldn't have stage fright or videophobia or whatever it was that made her anxiety reach unacceptable levels every time she filmed content for her channel. She was 28 years old and an experienced blogger. She shouldn't be fretting over her job. She sighed and made the mistake she always made before filming her content. She glanced at her black computer screen and grimaced. No matter how she changed the lighting in her room, positioned her desk, or moved the monitor, she still caught her shadowed reflection. And even though her flaws weren't clearly visible, she knew they were there, the wiry curls she couldn't tame, one eyebrow that was clearly higher than the other, her elongated profile that had inspired her third-grade classmate, Chase Anderson, to call her Horseface, a nickname that stuck until 11th grade, when her fellow students finally decided to grow up a little. He'd even apologized, in a DM, of course, not in person, saying that she never looked like a horse, and he'd been an idiot kid who liked to clown around in class. She accepted his half attempt at an apology, but the damage was done. And it didn't matter how many commenters said she was cute and her hair was beautiful and claimed her squeaky voice was adorable. She never forgot the sound of boys neighing behind her as she walked in the hallways.
Guys, and there you have it. That's a short snippet of So Into You. And of course, we will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of So Into You. And one of the things, Kathleen, I want to let you know that I definitely enjoyed about this story is, of course, the DMs and the messages. I love that. I don't know if you had fun writing those. But that was really really good. But I love the flow of the story, and I also loved how you show their inner thoughts like on the page. Like you could literally imagine like what they was going through, like in the different areas where you were sharing like their inner thoughts or what have you, especially in the meet cute. Oh my goodness, that whole thing. I'm sorry to go back to it, but I mean, you can just imagine.
You're making me feel so good. Thank you.
So you nailed it, my friend. I mean, again, you just grab our attention, from the beginning, and you really, with these characters, you kind of build a connection with them as well. So, job well done, Kathleen. And
Thank you.
again, I'm just super duper excited, and I'm ready for everybody to read this. You know how when a book comes out, or you get an early copy, and you ready to talk about it with somebody, or what have you. So, again, happy release day for you, and I'm so excited about So Into You. But okay. So next up, Kathleen, we have to play a round of this or that. And I want you to know they are giving you love for the snippet that you read. Letitia said, love the snippet. I think we all can identify with Brittany. Jennifer says she loved the snippet as well. Caitlin, same thing. They are loving the snippet for you as well. And then Tiffany Jones says, let's see. It is amazing how people eat their words later in life. Okay, so she must have been talking about, I think, what you was reading. Yeah, the snippet that you was reading.
I love that phrase. Can I put it in a book? That's exactly what it is. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for sharing that. All right. So, Kathleen, we are getting ready to play a round of this or that. But I promise you, my friend, there is no right or wrong answer. It is all things according to Kathleen Fuller. And guess what, Kathleen? Because we are in December, it is all things Christmas edition for this or that. All right, my friend. First up is wreath or ribbon? Wreath or ribbon?
Wreath.
Okay. Is Kathleen more of white lights or colored lights for the Christmas season? White lights or colored lights?
Colored lights, colored lights. I love things colorful and shiny. So yes. Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that. Okay, Kathleen, is it candy cane or homemade peppermint bark? A candy cane or homemade peppermint bark?
These are so easy. Homemade peppermint bark, obviously.
Kathleen, oh my goodness.
I mean, it's chocolate, y'all.
I love some homemade peppermint bark. Oh my goodness, it's so delicious. Okay, let's see. Apple cider or hot cocoa? Apple
Hot
cider
cocoa.
or
hot cocoa. Chocolate.
Okay, I love it. Next up, Christmas music or Christmas movie? Christmas, both with the M's, Christmas music or Christmas movie. And it can be both.
I would have to say Christmas music.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
I love music. I love movies. I adore movies. But Christmas music, you hear it all the time. Of course, by the end of the month, you're a little weary of it. But I actually love I love the hymns. So Silent Night, O Come Emmanuel, that's a favorite. Holy Night. Those, I really enjoy those.
Nice.
Like
I love that. I love that. I love that. And last one, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna say Christmas Day. Although, that's hard. Christmas Eve, the anticipation is there, and it's like in a store. You're right there at the moment, and then the couple gets together, or you open your presents, and then it's kind of like, oh, I'm so grateful. And now what? So I'm gonna say Christmas Day though, because you just get to chill. I mean, it's kind of relaxed if you're able to be at home. And my mom always had to work every other major holiday. So, but when she was home, it was always a lot of fun just to chill and relax. And then with my own family, my kids and my husband. So.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Kathleen, for playing around of this or that, all things Christmas edition with us here at the cafe. And of course, guys, her new book, So Into You, it is hot off the press on today. And guess what, guys? There is a giveaway. I'm going to allow Kathleen to share with us what her giveaway is going to be on today.
Well, it's going to be a copy of So Into You. But it'll be an autographed copy, but like I said, I crochet. So you'll also have a little crochet. I'm not sure what it is. It's going to be a surprise to me, but a little crochet item will come with it too.
That is super cool. I'm excited. Did you guys hear that? Not only will the winner get an autograph copy of So Into You, but you will have a little special crocheted item from Kathleen Fuller as well. All right, Kathleen, you're going to be my handy dandy assistant. We're going to go up and down the comment section, my friend. You're going to tell me when to stop, and that person will be the winner of that amazing giveaway. Okay, I am going, and when you tell me to stop, my friend.
Stop.
Okay. Letitia, you are the winner, my friend. She said she liked candy cane. So, Letitia, if you will inbox me your information, I will get that over to Kathleen, and you will get an autograph copy of So Into You and a little special little something designed and crocheted by Kathleen Fuller as well. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, and congratulations for that. Oh my goodness, Kathleen, the time goes by so fast, my friend. But before we go, I definitely want to ask you, and you have to share with us, how can they get their hands on a copy of So Into You?
I am so glad you asked. Okay, so you can find it in bookstores, obviously, but the best way is to go to my website at kathleenfuller.com. I have a books tab, and if you click on that, you'll be able to find all of the online options too, where you can purchase the book. And then it'll just be click and take you to the online store. And you'll, if you're interested, I'll put a little other plug in there. All my books are there, so you can check out and see what else I've written. And if something that you're interested in, if you know a friend that might be, wanting books, if you have your book friends, I've got all kinds of choices, including a Christmas book that came out last month. So there's my plug. Thank you for listening.
I love it. So, guys, there you have it. Of course, you can get it where books are sold. You can go to her website. It's on the screen as well. And you can see all of the other indie bookstores that you can get the book from as well. And of course, guys, once you read it, definitely leave a review. I know that Kathleen Fuller would be so appreciative of that. And of course, like she said, too, from her website, you can see her backlist. You can check out those books as well. And of course, guys, we already know books make a great gifts as well. And of course, Kathleen, in addition to your website, how else can we stay connected with you?
I am mostly on Instagram, KF Books and Hooks. And also, I have a newsletter. So when you go to my website, you can sign up for the newsletter. I send one out every month, and I always have a giveaway of a book and a crocheted item. And I tell you about what I'm working on, a little bit about my life, all it's kind of bits in that, recipes, things like that. So that's a great way of keeping in touch with what I've got going on and stuff. So my newsletter and Instagram.
I love that. I love that, guys. And make sure you stay in contact with Kathleen and stay connected with her. And Kathleen, last question that we want to ask you, my friend, is what did you enjoy about writing So Into You?
Oh, I enjoyed writing the scenes with, I think my favorite scene, other than the big one that I'm not going to spoiler, is their first kiss. I thought that when they were at, well, I don't want to tell you where they're at, but their first kiss. And you know what? Here's the thing: is that I write romance, so the kisses are always, and it doesn't get very steamy, so the kisses are kind of the little topping on the cake. But just the whole lead up to that, and it just, for me, I just loved that whole scene. So that was my favorite part. And normally, the kisses are not my favorite part. Love that. So this is a little bit different for me.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Kathleen, for joining us and celebrating your release that you could have been anywhere, but you came to hang out with us here at the cafe, guys. So Into You. Today is the release date. It is hot off the press. It's available in ebook. It's also available in print. Kathleen, is it available in audiobook as well?
Yes.
Or just ebook and print right now?
No, it's an audiobook too. Mm-hmm.
Guys, and there you have it. We love when it's available in all three formats. So whatever suits your fancy, audiobook, ebook, and print, you can get a copy of So Into You. We'll also put a link or two in the comment section as well, so you can get a copy of it as well. And like I said, I definitely leave a review once you have read this amazing, amazing story as well. And Kathleen, before we go, I want to allow you, my friend, to have the last words of what you want to say to the people.
This was so much fun. Thank you for having me. I love your energy. This was just like really great, and I appreciate everybody coming and commenting. And I think, Angela, you're right. You could be anywhere, and you took the time to come stay with us. So I just hope you guys have a blessed holiday season and Merry Christmas. And I'll see you around.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kathleen. Guys, definitely make sure that you stay connected with her. Like I said, we will definitely put her information in the comment section as well. And Kathleen, I want to tell you happy release day. I hope you have an amazing release day, release week, release month with So Into You as well. And guys, of course, you can stay connected with me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Angela Anderson YouTube, or you can follow me on social media at Angela Anderson Presents. And of course, as we always say, guys, here at the cafe, have an amazing day, because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you later. Get you a copy of So Into You. Bye-bye.
Bye.